TSPN is excited to announce Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate. Focusing on the lives, experiences, and viewpoints of motherlode women, the show features a rotating cast of 4 women of all ages and from all walks of life. Quick, upbeat, and fast-paced with a variety of topics, this one-hour show will be aired live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. Tune in, it's Just Between Us. TSP.
Good morning and welcome to Just Between Us. We have a very special show for you today and we're really excited, so we're going to jump in it right away. We've got a special guest with us, someone who is very near and dear to my heart, that I adore and love dearly, Martha. But I want to say happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday.
You're not talking about me. I know better.
No, I am. All the girls are near and dear to my heart. But I want to say that we have the lovely Mrs. MC with us this morning.
Miss Mac. Yeah.
Miss Mac.
Well, thank you.
So excited. I'm Susie from Volcano.
I'm Sandy from Jackson.
Donna Lyons McClellan from Washington, D.C.
Yay! And Martha
And the birthday
from,
girl.
Yay!
From
Wherever.
I'm old. Jackson and
a vagabond.
See, that's what happens when you ask me what happens at 64. You lose your memory.
There you go. Donna, it's exciting, and we're going to talk to you more, but we're
Yep.
going to get our first few topics.
Okay, get a couple of topics.
I'm doing these.
You're doing this. Right?
No.
Oh, who's going to read them?
I am.
Okay, so just pass 2 of them to her.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
There's Uno.
Good morning. I want to
Hold
say
on.
good morning to the Colonel. Well, they goof off.
Yeah.
I would like to say good morning to the Colonel and congratulate him on his retirement. I want to say thank you for your service and for your bravery, and we love you out here in California. Can't wait to meet you someday. I wish I could come back there for your retirement, but Donna won't let me. So with that,
Too
Colonel,
much trouble.
Yes. So
You
with
get in
that,
a lot of trouble at the
Sandra,
Pentagon.
please, the first one.
Well, I think this is very apropos political science.
Uh-huh.
Somebody needs to roll these
No.
Ugh.
Okay, read that.
Okay, six.
I hit sex again.
It's going to be one of those days.
What was the topic? I didn't want to miss that one.
Political science.
Political, what's that?
Science is political.
Yeah.
Are you the type of person who feels comfortable speaking out in behalf of a candidate?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And the next one,
The next
roll
one.
the dice, Mrs. Perez.
Oh,
Our,
Cinco.
our world. Do you feel that you will see peace in the Middle East someday? Not in my lifetime, I'll tell you.
I don't think so. We're going to take a short break while I have a couple of toots, and we'll be right back.
Just Between Us.
Welcome back to Just Between Us. And Sandra, our first topic is going to be?
Political science.
Okay.
Are you the type of person who feels comfortable speaking out in behalf of a candidate?
Sure, why not? It depends. It depends on the situation and where you are. I shouldn't say the word depends at this table, but I will. But
She had to get it in.
I had to get it in. But I do believe in your situation. You're in Washington, so I know you've got to walk on eggshells a lot. Am I
I would
correct?
never,
Yeah.
that's how I look at it, just like this.
Yeah,
because
you have to really.
You don't want to ruffle feathers with anybody out there.
Right, so you have
It's
to
very
kind
difficult.
of watch. I think locally I have no problem.
Mhm.
On the national scene, I think I'm more reserved in certain places and stuff.
Yeah.
Mama?
Yeah, it depends on the crowd. Although I have absolutely no, well, you know me and my mouth. I got it. My cousin still doesn't write to me to this day. I was visiting my relatives in Chicago, and I guess they thought because I was a Californian, I'd be really, you know, on the, left end. And
Well, you're from the left coast, so that's
yes,
why.
that's true. And they made a disparaging remark about George Bush. And I just went up. They criticized his speech pattern. Now, I'm sorry, people, just because they stutter or do things, it doesn't mean they're stupid. And that's basically what I put across. And then, I'm in Chicago.
Well, thank you, Sandy.
And so They don't write to me. I'm sorry. But
Not one president. I mean, Reagan was very articulate, but even Clinton, who was supposed to be the great talker or whatever, Obama's all the time.
without the screen, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'll look at it this way. The office needs to be respected. You may not like the man and the job.
No, you respect the office.
But you should
Exactly.
respect the office. And if they have a speech impediment, or if they have something that, that it's hard for them, to articulate
Right.
that sentence at that time, you should never make fun of them. I find that wrong.
Well, I've been here 31 years, okay?
Yeah.
I have never publicly really, I had two people that I supported, but I really believed on them. I have to really believe that they are a good person and that they're going to do a good job. Otherwise, I'm sorry, don't ask me because I won't support. Yeah. And, in all the 31 years, only two people I have really supported out in public, because you have to be very careful, who you support. In small little counties like this, people,
You have to be, you're right.
you either...
Especially business owners.
I need
yes.
sunglasses. Her diamonds are killing me.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
Remember,
I want to say
Colonel, my
hello
birthday's coming up.
I want to say hello to Donna, to Virginia Manor, and to
Roberta.
I'm so excited to see everyone. This
here.
is like
Well,
old home week.
They're excited
Yes.
to see you, and
I
that's why.
know.
That's why
We
we're all
wanted to
great.
do something special, so I had another birthday for you. Just
I'm
a
so
little.
glad.
She's got a little.
You know what I was going to
so-
say about the political thing too is that once you make a statement to someone, or I vote on issues. I don't vote on left or right. That's the way I
Yeah.
feel.
And that's the way everybody should be.
They should be, but they're
Yeah.
not.
No.
And so the problem is, once you put yourself out, whether you're right or left, you're categorized that forever. People
Right.
think that that's the way you think.
Right.
So, you have to be very careful.
Well, yeah,
especially at the level that, where Kyle's at, and
Sure.
if he goes
Oh,
into
sure.
Congress.
Well, where I used to work, we could never, ever do anything regarding politics. We could never say who we were for, because I worked for a city entity.
Right.
And
We
so
work for the LAPD.
PD, yeah, and
Yes.
the chief of police at that time says you are not to wear a button or show any
And that's
favoritism
the way it
to
should
any
be.
political candidate,
Right.
regardless of who it was.
So I believe in that.
Wait a minute.
We have to.
Did I hear if he goes into Congress?
Well, if he becomes a lobbyist.
Yes.
And I can't say
Uh,
more than that
very
right now.
good.
Yeah,
because it's a
that's-
big
Okay,
deal.
time to move on
I
to
don't
our
miss
world.
anything,
Big
do I?
deal.
Our world.
Okay.
Do you feel that do you feel that we will see peace in the Middle East someday?
Nope.
Talking about
Okay.
Never happened.
Okay, another topic.
Done.
No,
You can't fight political wars.
No,
I mean,
you-
religious wars.
You can't.
You can't.
It's
They
been
will
going
never-
on for, what, centuries?
And they're ignorant. They don't know.
No.
That's how they're raised, and it's continual, and it'll never change.
There's a-
However, Donna, excuse me, Sandy, I didn't mean to step on you. But
Yes, you did.
however, Donna, I did hear that there is a group of Americans, it's called Seeds for Peace or something,
Right.
and they get the Palestinian kids, they get the Israeli children, and they get together, their teens, and they talk about things. And the majority, they don't want these wars. So
Right.
maybe there's a little ray of hope. I don't feel that there will ever be peace in the Middle East, especially when you have Hamas sticking their nose in all of this, because
Right.
they want this. And now we've got that new one, that ISIS,
Yeah.
that
Very
is beheading.
scary.
They're beheading
Children.
Children. They chopped a little 5-year-old boy in half the other day.
It's
So,
sickening.
do you think that that's ever going to be peaceful
No,
unless
no,
we go over
and they
bomb
never
them?
will. And these kids are traumatized for life, and so
Oh.
they're going to turn around and they're
So,
going to be angry. And
what I don't
violent.
understand is what is the problem? Why can't they fix it? I mean, what is the...
Okay, you
Ignorance.
got to understand.
Ignorance and religion.
Ignorance and religion, and
Yes.
the fact there was an interesting thing done by a Danish psychologist who's been studying Muslim cultures and the Muslim people.
Mm-hmm.
And for 1,400 years, they've been inbreeding. They marry their cousins.
Oh.
They have collectively,
Yikes.
according to the psychologist, collectively, an IQ of 81. They found out that Muslims that are in Denmark, who go through 10 years of Denmark school, come out illiterate. They cannot retain
Oh,
because they
that's
believe there's a
sad.
recessive gene.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if it's just like...
There's a joke there, and I'm just not
I know.
but
I'm not saying a word.
But their whole life revolves around Islam. Everything they do follows the Quran. There is no free thinking. Everything has to go with the Quran.
And remember, there's no media. They don't have the freedom of speech that we do. They don't have the freedom of
they don't see really what's going on in the real world. They have no clue.
It's like Korea and
That's
China.
why I say there's ignorance.
They're fed so much,
Right.
and it's ignorance. There's no
So
newspapers.
it's really not their fault. It's the fault of the government that
Yeah.
they
No,
kept
it's more
them.
fault of the fact that the people who run want to keep them ignorant.
That's what I'm saying. The
Yeah.
government is the
Yes.
one that
It's
wants
control.
to
It's a
suppress
control.
all of these people.
And the idea of recognizing Hamas as a legitimate form of government or a legitimate political party, I think, is
Right.
ridiculous.
Well, didn't Nancy Pelosi
Well,
say that
I-
they were a peace?
She just needs to...
Oh, zip it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if somebody of our local politicians would try to suppress us of doing something like that? What would happen to him or her?
And another thing you got to understand
In
about the
Amador
Middle
County.
Yeah.
Another thing you have to understand about the Middle East, at the end of World War I, the Brits and the French carved up the Middle East to suit their purposes. So they created countries where there was never ever a country. They created Iraq. They created Qatar. They created Kuwait. They created all these little countries. And unfortunately, a lot of the boundary lines overlapped into other territorial.
Oh.
And
Right.
they're
See,
a tribal. They're a tribal.
Too
The
same
same
for
thing
me
happened in
too.
Yugoslavia.
That's exactly it.
What happened in Yugoslavia?
That's the buzzword. It's tribal, and
Yes, it is.
because they based everything on their religious. Their whole life is not. You can go to church when you want to, whatever. They live this 24/7, and they have to follow.
They're mandatory.
This is the part that I just cannot understand because I'm a business person, okay? I'm busy running. I have my own little country where I have to make sure that everything runs perfectly for my employees, for my people that I feed every day, and stuff. So I don't have a lot of time to listen to a lot of the news. So I think the politicians hold on to that and don't take care of the small people, and then we fall off the track, and there's nobody there to help us. But, the whole government together, keeps us together. Whether you guys believe that this country is going to the boobies or whatever, I still believe that it's the best country in the world.
I believe this is the best country in the world, and that we
I have
are.
the freedom to speak up when I want
Absolutely.
to. I have the freedom to say whatever I want.
That's right.
And all the idiots in the world can say whatever they want, and they can still be
I wouldn't
survive,
trade America
you
for
know?
anyone.
As long as no one tries to squelch the other person trying to say something counter to what they're saying.
Absolutely.
Which is
Freedom of
fine.
Speech.
Freedom of speech.
Right.
And we have the right to say what we want. And if
That's
somebody
why
doesn't like it,
I don't
that's
get
their
upset
problem.
when somebody says something bad about me. At least they take the time to acknowledge me.
You know what? I look at it this way. When you talk about me, you're leaving somebody else alone. Just spell my name right. We got to pick 2 new
Gotta
topics.
pick more topics. Okay. We're missing. Oh no, here's the other one.
Free for all.
Give me this one.
This
Yeah.
one.
We got a free-for-all, and the other one is young versus older. So that's good for Martha.
Yeah. Ay.
Z dice.
Ay. Okay. See how fast I forget. Number 2. I didn't roll perfect.
Those heckies.
What, as a mature woman, do you feel is your biggest contribution to your family?
I can't answer that because I'm only 29.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
The
can
left
I'll
side.
just
And the
sit here
next-
silently, and you guys can answer that.
The left side is 29.
And the
we'll
next
go into
one
the
is
right
going to be
side.
a free-for-all?
What's a
We're gonna be a
free-for-all?
free-for-all. We're going to take a short break. Stick with us, and we'll be back.
Between us.
Welcome back to Just Between Us, and we have Miss Roberta with us. Hey,
good to be
We're
here.
gonna have
Yay.
all of Donna's
I
girlfriends are
am
with
loving
us today.
sitting next to all my friends.
I know, it's
so
great.
awesome.
So what we're going to
Love
do
it.
is we're going to do the topic first, and then we're going to do a free-for-all, which we're going to talk to Donna about.
This place is always a free-for-all.
Really,
So,
it is.
Roberta,
Yes, ma'am.
number 2, what is
as a mature woman, what do you feel is your biggest contribution to your family?
Having a heartbeat and blood pressure and breathing, I guess. I don't
For
know.
me-
Being there for 'em.
For me, learning to shut up.
Teaching them to
well,
learn
no,
to know when to
teaching me to keep my mouth shut and not say things that I want to say. My brain goes like, "What the hell are you?" No,
Thinking.
don't say that, Martha, because remember the last time that happened? You know, you learn
I
as
think
you get older.
that's very
You know,
important,
you
and it's
learn
very hard to do.
you know, that every child has to learn on their own, and they have to fall and learn to get up on their own, because sometimes you see them going the wrong road. You give them the guidance. You don't yell at them. Don't say what the you're doing. Say, well, you will find out pretty soon what's going to happen, honey. So
having a lot of patience.
having
and-
a lot of
and
patience
keeping
learning
certain-
to keep my ugly thoughts to myself.
I think it's through your experience guiding them and hoping they take that, information you give them and use it properly. And most times
think
they
that's
don't,
important.
but I think you can give them advice, and they're going to have to learn on their own.
Absolutely.
I think for me, at least from what the kids tell me, it's positive attitude. Trying to find, not being a Pollyanna about things, but I do believe that there's something to learn from even bad stuff that happens to us.
Oh, absolutely.
And so having a positive attitude of saying, yes, there's some value that can come from whatever happens in life. And I see that now reflected in my kids, and I love it. So, positive attitude.
That's
See,
great.
Yep. I love you, Martha.
You make me cry.
Yeah, I know.
No.
No, don't cry. Don't cry. My children are afraid of me, so what the hell? What can I say? Being full-blooded
We're
Italian.
just going to pass on that one, huh?
Being full-blooded Italian, they don't mess with me. They just say, "You're right, Mom. We've learned so much from you."
Well,
Actually,
that's probably
actually-
what they learned, is
No,
to stand
actually,
up for themselves
my
like
children
you
have learned the don'ts from me, and I'm the first one to admit it. My girls have got themselves together, and they've come through things, they haven't gone through things like I have, but they've always been there to support, and they've seen how I bounce back. And that's what's made me so proud, that they're not like me. They've learned from my mistakes, and that they've gone on. They've got my sense of humor, and my...
Your family reunions must be something else.
Oh,
can imagine.
boy.
I know.
Well,
I'd like to see you at one of those baseball games.
Oh,
for your granddaughter.
I've learned to calm down, because, they'll throw you out of there.
It's embarrassing for the grandkids.
Yeah, so I know.
Yes.
So that's when my daughter says, "Okay, game's going to start." And she gives me one of these. And I go, "I'm not going to say a word." I learned after the first game when when the umpire made the wrong call, and the parents and the grandparents have learned, the quieter you are, the better it is for your and I would never embarrass my grandchildren like that.
Yeah.
I wait until
Yeah.
we're in a different venue, then I'll embarrass them. But other than that, basically, I have a lot of fun with mine. And I think what it is that I'm enjoying being Noni more than I was Mom, because Mom, being a single mother, working all the time, and doing all of that, you lose perspective when you have grandchildren, as we do. You take a lot of
I always
joy
joke
and
around
fun.
and say, wouldn't it have been fun if we could have our grandchildren first?
Oh,
yeah.
It's so easy.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
The part that I don't understand is, okay, I'm 64 years old now. What the hell happened? I'm still working as hard as I was working when I had 9 children at home.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something wrong with this picture.
Well, but don't you look back and go, how the heck did I do it?
How did I do
How
it?
did I
Yeah.
take care of 9 kids at
And
home?
made the
and
time
Martha,
for
look
all
what
of
you
them.
look what you
Yeah.
gave your children. You came from another country. You gave your children love. You gave them work ethic. You did so much for your children.
But at the
they
same
have you
time-
up on a pedestal.
But Susie, I treated my kids like they were in the army. I swear to God.
But it's the way
You might have
could
had
get-
to.
Yeah, exactly.
I
to
mean,
get through it.
I
9
wanted
kids?
to make sure my kids weren't going to end up in jail.
I
or in
doubt
prison.
that any of them didn't feel your love.
Oh yeah.
At your 31st anniversary, Jose, Rachel, Letitia. I mean, it was love, 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 and love.
Yes.
So you know what? It's a compliment to you.
Yeah.
You are a great mother
Oh,
and
my
a
kids
wonderful
talk to me.
grandma.
Yay!
And
And that's not true with every family.
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
There
we're
are
going to move on.
families.
We're going to do our first
Woohoo,
free-for-all.
free-for-all.
And what I want to know, Mrs. MC, what I want to know
Miss
is
Mac.
that
Miss Mac.
I
Miss
want to
Mac.
I want to find out how the Colonel is doing, and what are you two into in Washington?
Yeah, what's going
Not
on?
personally, I mean.
No bedroom stories?
No.
Sorry.
You can
Not much
email-
there either.
Email
You're still,
me.
a you're still a newlywed, right?
Really.
We're doing great. He's doing great. He's retired as of 2 Fridays ago, so it's a big deal. Big retirement ceremony coming up at the Pentagon, and a couple special guests are going to be showing up, and I can't say them because they'll probably watch this.
Yes.
One can't make it, me.
Yes, the other special guest, Susie, she cannot be there. So he's currently looking for work, but we'll be offered something here really shortly. We're just sitting back waiting.
Wonderful.
We know
I know
it's there.
that
Exciting.
his heart is in Washington, and being a colonel, I know that he would like to take the avenue of something of that nature.
Yes, he'll stay within that area of work.
So that'll be exciting.
Whether it's a lobbyist or working
Now,
back at the
now
Pentagon.
tell me, since you're back there,
Yeah.
and I know that you're very, very busy and doing a lot of political things and having a lot of fun, but you're making a documentary.
Yes, a good friend of mine, Mike Kaczynski, created a foundation called Hope Lives There, and it's to help wounded veterans, whether it's physical or invisible. And he decided, he came to me and said, 2 years ago, he said, I would like to make a documentary and take these guys on a trip to El Camino de Santiago in Spain and do the
how
pilgrimage,
exciting.
because it's so, apparently it's supposed to just change you completely. We talked about it some more. The foundation is raising money. Hope Lives There raises money so we can go on this trek. We're taking probably about 10 to 13 vets with us.
How wonderful.
Do you need any
I want to
translators?
go.
Do you need any translators?
Anybody can go.
You
wanna
went
go.
there, didn't you?
Oh, I lived in Spain, but I've never done the
Anybody
Camino.
can go. We are like, the more the merrier. That's how we look at it. The production company is Lou Rita Productions, and Scott Rita is the producer. We brought him on, and we are going to start filming at the guys' homes and one gal, and then interview them, see what they're like then. Go on the pilgrimage, film the whole way. I mean, we have cameras, a bunch of cameras going. The whole film crew is following us. And then 6 months after the walk, we are going to interview them again and see kind of like where they're at this point. Lou Rita Productions just did the movie Brothers in War. They're very respectable, huge company. This is a big deal.
How
It's a
wonderful.
big deal. We have a lot of people backing us. Big Twitter campaign will come out fairly soon, and a lot of
how
actors
cool.
and musicians are backing us. It's
Oh,
huge.
Speaking of musicians, the event that's coming up that is going to benefit your passion and mine, the Warrior Project, they would like to have Gary come out with his band sometime and play for that.
Oh, they're so good.
Yes,
Oh, they're
I've heard
so
them play.
great. They are
Not
awesome.
in person,
I
but
just saw Gary Sinise and Joe Mantegna at the most recent concert they had in D.C. We talked to them for a while, and hopefully they'll be a little bit involved with our.
I hope when they come
How
out to
fun.
California,
That'd be
you
great.
can come out and bring him on the show. I'd love to interview him. He's
So
one of my
busy.
idols.
He plans like 2 years ahead of time. It's like
He
you
is-
can't get that guy to do anything.
I know.
It's like-
He's
That's
my
amazing.
idol. He does so much for the veterans
Yeah.
and for the wounded warriors, and I just feel it's just so important. I don't think
Going back to political science,
Yes.
I mean, he
Yes.
speaks up for it, not necessarily about his politics, but about his beliefs
Yes.
and about what he
Yes.
believes.
Talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
that, excuse me, Donna, I'm going to a program tomorrow, an event. It's called Top Gun. This is the third year.
That's the one we're talking about.
And I'm going tomorrow. I've been supporting it since it started. So if anybody wants to go, there's still tickets available.
Good, go, because
So-
it's very important.
Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Saturday.
is it?
Oh, no,
No,
the
next
23rd.
Saturday.
The
The 23rd.
23rd.
Yeah,
The 23rd.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
the
following
23rd.
week.
Oh, no, I was so...
Did you see some of the names attached with them?
Yes.
yes.
Oh my God!
Yes.
I just got to see some of the...
Condoleezza Rice and
Yeah.
President Bush and
Yes, I
all
know.
these a couple comedians.
Tim Allen.
Larry the Cable Guy.
Yes.
get her
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
I love
How impressive.
Tim Allen, and he's got a script that he autographed and gave to them to auction off.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
It's going to be exciting. I'm buying a few tickets.
Well, our foundation is trying to link up with other foundations of the like that can work with us, and so we're going to get as many as we can together, so I'll have to speak with them.
I'll tell Joe.
Yeah.
Joe Districts.
I'm supposed to meet him today.
Oh,
if I do my show today, I'm going to meet him.
Cool.
We are going to take our last two. We're going to do another free-for-all, and we're going to continue with Donna for the free-for-all, but we're going to throw in a topic.
There you go.
Well, you can tell me what the topics are, and I'll read it. How about that? Give you more than a handout.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, the first topic is...
Seeing yourself in a different light.
Number 1, baby.
How about no light?
I use a soft
Better in the
light.
dim
Number
light,
1,
Yes.
what changes have you seen in yourself in the past 10 years?
Oh,
You
yikes.
don't want to know. Really? And then a free-for-all.
We're going to take a short
free-for-all.
break. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to...
We're back.
Welcome back. I'm Susie from Volcano, and we now have the lovely Virginia Manor with us. So we're rotating all of our girls today, and obviously we have the beautiful and talented
Thank
Martha.
you.
Oh, that's right. It's her birthday week.
Donna. She came all the way from Washington.
Yes, I'm so
D.C. to see us. Yes.
Put into DC because people go,
Yes.
they just flew up
Yeah.
there, and I'm like, oh,
No.
Across
D.C.
country.
Yeah.
And the lovely Martha is here, and happy birthday.
Thank you
again.
very much.
Happy
again,
birthday
and
again. We are going to do one fast topic, and then we're going to continue with Donna and find out what's going on back in Washington. So,
Absolutely.
Virginia, what changes?
Okay, what changes have you seen in yourself in the past 10 years is the topic.
A lot of sagging, bagging, and change of color.
That's it. End of story.
Well, there's one good thing in the last 10 years we can all agree upon. We're sitting here.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Exactly.
And we came here
Still
on our own
here.
accord.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many positives as we age. Instead of looking at negatives,
Virginia,
we can reflect.
my darling, the only thing golden about the golden years is your urine, and that's if you drink a lot of juice. Other than that, my dear, some of them are just
So
plain.
there, Virginia.
tells you need
that's
more
her
water.
That's her compliment for you.
Some of them just.
She didn't say that
ugly.
to you. She didn't love you.
Old age is ugly. Thank you.
You know
I
what?
think you get confidence, though. I think you get. We were just talking about that. I
Oh,
think you get
really?
really confident. I do.
Oh, yeah?
You know what you like
I
and
mean,
you
I
don't
was
like.
before, but now I'm like,
I was
the
just
way.
telling Donna that the thing that I have seen, the difference in me is that I'm so much more independent on my own beliefs. I don't worry too much about what other people think. You know, I just know what I want in my life. And if that makes me happy, what the hell do I care what anybody else
it's your
thinks?
time. I think when
You
you
know,
get a certain age,
I
you go,
already-
I've raised my kids,
my
I have great
whole
grandkids,
life,
but now it's my time.
we
Well, you
live-
realize you're on this side of 50.
Well,
Yeah.
you know,
So,
really,
I mean, you're
Oh,
working
thanks,
towards...
Virginia. You're just a barrel of laughs letting us all know.
what happens?
I'm older than you.
You're the other side
no,
down.
You know, when
no,
you're young,
no, I'm older than you.
when you're young, you live for your children and your husband, and your whole life revolves around all of them.
Then you get
And
rid of the husband
no,
and the children, Martha.
and then you are happy forever. But I mean, no, that's what I'm saying. I feel more independent. I don't have to ask for anybody's opinion on what they think. You know, I know what I think. I know what I want. I know what I want going. I know what I need. You know, and I get to do it. And that's my independence that I feel. You know, much more than when I was younger. So, and I feel more confident about myself.
Absolutely.
And I can spend, if I want to
That's why I
spend
call her
$200.
the original red hot chili pepper.
Yeah.
There's the first one, right there.
So-
Forget the group.
But you know,
That's her.
it's like everybody's different, though. Everybody has different experience. That's my experience. Donna just finally got married to the love of her life.
Yeah.
That she's
Amen.
been waiting for so many years. So you have, you know, a much bigger world than I do right now. And, you know, everybody can handle different things in life. And
Yeah.
I feel that Donna has done a wonderful job getting married to my ex-boyfriend.
The Colonel will always be.
I know. Don't be
our
so
boyfriend.
jealous. I mean, I'm glad we can be friends, and you don't hate me now.
Really.
Because I took him from you.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you go.
I love him. You will always have the love of my life.
Yeah, you're
I'm
you're
just
blessed.
kidding. we were never together. I don't even know the man. I just love him.
In your dreams.
In my dreams.
That's
hey,
right.
But don't
listen.
you think it's really important as we age to be positive, to reflect on what we do have and who we are, rather than what we aren't? I mean, especially as
When you get
people
older,
around you,
especially, yeah, I think
your
so.
girlfriends are ill, or you're losing people
Well,
you love that are
right.
even younger than
Listen,
you. You need to take
the
each
comment
day.
that I just made, you think I would have been able to make that comment about saying something that is not true in a joke and people would take it seriously if I was much younger and married and had children? You know,
Yeah. No,
it would be
that's
totally
true.
different. Now, I can say and do, and, you know,
Because you have that confidence.
I have
And
the
we can
confidence,
laugh at
and
ourselves.
we can
Yeah, that's
laugh.
true. You
you
laugh
know.
at
Well,
who we
so-
aren't and who we are.
We know there's the bond between women friends. You can say things like that and
Oh,
laugh
yeah,
and joke. We say
absolutely.
things like that all the time. You just have to learn that you can't take life so serious.
Mm-mm.
Because when you hit a certain plateau in your life, like Virginia said, you're lucky when you get up in the morning. As long as I have, like I said, blood pressure and a heartbeat, I'm
And
ready to
some
go.
depends.
It's a good day.
Oh,
And
rock
some
on, baby.
depends.
Or people that depend on you.
There's a
What?
part of your
People
wardrobe.
that depend on you. Friendships.
Yeah, friendship.
You know,
Yeah.
getting a cheer call from a friend.
Do you know,
Yeah.
isn't that
A
wonderful
nice
that
lunch.
I have friends that I know from 40-some years ago when I first came to this country. We don't talk to each other for maybe 3 or 4 years, and then we find each other, and all of a sudden it's like we never left.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You know,
That's what's so much fun.
It's just amazing the friendships that we collect
Well,
in our lifetime.
you're friends with Elvis.
Yes, you may. Yes, ma'am.
You don't have to
Yeah.
channel him. You've
The-
got him.
another woman that lets me have another boyfriend on the side. His wife lets me be his Priscilla.
Boy. What a hussy. And she brags about it. I'm telling you.
Hey, I can.
Good. Yeah, God bless you. We're going to move on. We're going to ask Donna. Donna, I want to ask you, and I know I'm not going to ask you any questions to put you on the spot, but
No, not you.
no, never, never. But let me ask you, who are some of the dignitaries that you have met in Washington that you really, you're in awe when you see them?
Senator McCain. I mean, I know he's. I like to say he's the poster child of term limits. I
Yes.
totally appreciate his service, but he's a nice guy. He's a good guy.
I hear he's a great, a great
Senator
person.
Graham is a good friend of Kyle's. There's many, but you know, a lot of the generals, the 4 stars that are out there, are incredible.
Have you met Alan West?
No, we were just talking
Oh,
about it.
I love that man.
Yeah.
Go on,
I
Alan.
follow him on Facebook. He's
Yeah.
awesome.
He is
He's
awesome.
brilliant.
Yeah.
He is
Oh,
brilliant.
he is.
I really like him a lot.
He
I
is.
enjoy.
He's
I
very
enjoy
cool.
him. He brings. He not only is not afraid to bring things to the table. He stands by his convictions.
Yes, he's
And
very
I, and,
principled.
and I think he's I think he's a wonderful man.
He is.
Of the women that you've met back there, because a lot of people don't realize there's a lot of women that are in politics. You
Yeah.
just don't. You hear from a few, but which I wish we wouldn't. Some of them, but
Yeah, I know. Some need to.
yeah.
We don't even have to mention names.
No, but the
I
thing is,
I
it's
haven't met a
interesting.
lot of the women. Now I see them when I go to the Capitol and we go sit in on hearings or something like that in Congress or the Senate, and you do see a lot of them there. But you know, you don't approach them.
Of
you don't
course
go up
not.
and approach them. But
Can I have your autograph?
yeah,
I sat next to Cindy
I don't want any of their
McCain.
autographs.
She was interesting.
I bet she
Cindy
was.
McCain.
I bet
She's
she
a doll.
Mhm.
She's a sweetheart.
I
She's
bet
up in
she
the
was.
gallery.
She's
Yeah,
a
she
sweetheart
was there.
friend. Yeah, she's
That's-
a sweetheart. Yeah, we're busy and we do see them. We mingle with them. So
I
mean,
think
it's-
that's fun. Now, when
Yeah.
you go to a gala back there, which you will, you obviously
She
you
does.
have to go out. They must have some fantastic shops back there because you
They
women
do.
look gorgeous when
They
you
do.
see it on film. I mean, it's just so exciting. What would be your ultimate person to meet back there? Who would be the ultimate your personality that you would like to meet?
I don't know if there's anyone in particular. It's just when you go places and they're there, you just talk casual with them. You know, no one's ever starstruck back there. You know, whether it's a politician or a movie star, no one's ever, you know, just...
Right.
You just stay really cool. Even if you're like screaming, oh my God, inside. I just met so-and-so. You
Yeah.
just don't do it, so... Yeah.
Oh, that's why I don't go there.
You screaming?
I'd be going like, oh my God, that man.
Yeah.
Meeting people like that you've been doing for many years, so
Yeah,
this
it's
isn't
not-
a whole
yeah.
new life either. It's
The
a
veterans
different
concert
life.
was really cool because we
I
had
bet.
the kid, that one from American Idol, was there. I can't think of his
Phillips?
name.
Phil
No, the
Phillips?
newest one.
Oh,
The heavyset guy with, I can't think of his name.
oh yeah,
He
was
was
great.
there, and it was so
Yes, he's
cute. My
very
girlfriend
good.
was with me. She's the congressional liaison for all the national parks, and her daughter was there. And I kept telling Tracy, I'm like, go up there and get your picture with him. She's going, that is embarrassing. Yeah, I'm not going to go up there. And I'm like, oh my God, it's such a, he's such a cool kid. But we hang out with all of them, and like Joe Mantegna and Gary Sinise are so normal. You would never, they just walk next to you and have a.
Now he's going to be bringing Sofia Vergara pretty soon with him. Joe is, right? Because isn't he dating her? No. Who
No.
am I thinking of? The other one.
No.
Oh, that's a hot guy that she's dating. Holy
Wasn't
cow.
his last name? Come on.
I don't know, but he's.
I'm lost.
Oh.
I don't watch TV very much.
She is adorable.
You have to get
that
She's
woman is
gorgeous.
the cutest. She is
She's
the cutest
gorgeous.
woman. I love to listen to. She's got the Spanish accent like you. She is adorable. You can just sit there for hours and listen to her. She's
You
adorable.
either like her or you don't.
Yeah,
Plain and simple.
yeah, but she's an intelligent
She's
woman.
very
She-
intelligent, trust me.
Yeah,
Now,
she
I've
is.
got to ask you a question. Do you
Sure.
enjoy shopping for clothes back there? Because you're going to these
Of
galas,
course.
and you can imagine the dresses.
Ask my
And
husband.
But you he doesn't
he'll
like
tell
it.
you. Yeah,
Every
he'll
bar
tell
of the
you.
door.
Very different than Amador
every day.
County.
What are you buying here? Where? Are you, what's this charge on the credit card? What is this? I'm like, oh my God.
Well, you know,
Goodbye.
the
Click.
lucky thing is that he can either wear. Will he still wear his uniform?
No.
He will wear a tuxedo.
To an event?
Yes.
Yeah, usually what they do is they just wear a pin on the lapel that shows their service.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
and retired.
And a colonel pin, yeah.
Yeah.
He'll have
Oh,
his
how
colonel
exciting.
insignia, so a little pin, and a, like an army.
See, this
That's
is
what
what
they
I
wear.
love about that system. They are so proper, so
Yeah.
well behaved, and this.
True.
I
Maybe.
I had to learn, when I go to events like that, you have to learn to respect. You do, like my grandfather used to say, to the country that you go, you do as they do.
Yes.
And it's true. So you have to learn to be well behaved. You have to learn to
True.
speak the way that people
Right.
speak. If I'm in a group with friends and we, talk little trash, we talk little trash. But then if you're in a group with people that are, higher up than you have to learn to respect, everybody. So I always say, thank you, Grandpa. He teach me to speak with a
He was your
homeless
he was
person
your mentor.
and
Right.
teach me to talk to God.
Well, she
And
hasn't
from
seen
the-
House of Cards.
From the bottom to the
Wow.
top.
We
That's
have
nice.
to take a short break.
We're
We're going to
living
come
that.
back and wrap it up with you with the ladies.
Just between us.
Then say it.
Okay, we're on.
We're on. And we're on.
Yay!
I want to thank Donna for being with us
Thank
here
you,
today.
ladies.
I had a
Yay.
blast.
It was so much fun.
And we're going to do a hot topic, and it's going to be a little bit different. I can't speak unless I use my hands, because I'm a full-blooded Italian. But what I'd like to tell all of you is that our hot topic is going to be this. What does America mean to you, and what do you appreciate about being in this country?
Oh, boy.
Sandy?
Well, let's see. Oh, I forgot. I need a mic.
Thank you, Sandra, very much.
Time's up.
It takes a while to gather our thoughts.
We need some time for us, okay?
When I was 17 years old, I spent 4 months in a communist country.
Yeah.
And I was in Czechoslovakia visiting my relatives. Some were communists, some were not. And when I came home, I kissed the ground because I found out what it was like to have freedom. And then that really shaped the rest of my life. I became very involved in everything. I got heavily involved in the USO during the Vietnam War. I didn't get a chance to go over there. I was invited. I did not get a chance to go over into Nam. But I was with the Hollywood groups, and so I did all the things, galas with Hope and Johnny Grant and all those people, and I got to see a lot of it.
Your time's up.
Bloom? And Ron Masak?
No, I didn't.
They were
But I
huge.
know,
Move it.
I know who
Move
they
it.
were.
Yeah.
Move it.
Roberta?
Roberta.
I have to cut you off, sorry.
Interestingly, I spent a year in Spain as an American Field Service exchange student, and I had the same experience. It was during Franco's time, and there were men with machine guns on every corner, and you
wow.
couldn't gather in groups of more than 3 if you were a young person. And it changed my perspective of America. I was just clueless. I mean, I was just,
Well, we're
I didn't think
comfortable.
about it. So that changed it to say, every day we have to appreciate the freedoms that we have, the freedom of speech, the freedom of gathering, and the freedom to become what we choose to be.
Right.
Well, I think I am just so thankful for being free. Living in the best country in the world, we have our real big bumps and ruts in the road, but we as Americans celebrate our freedom and celebrate, what brought us to this point from George Washington forward. And of course, having a son and grandson in the military has given me a much different sense of pride, especially when he came in after coming back from Afghanistan. And it was so awesome.
Yes.
He's such a cute
Yes.
kid. Do we even need this?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Virginia didn't even need it.
So,
Well, I mean, obviously, my husband's in the military, and prior to that, I was married to a Navy SEAL, so I grew up the military, not grew up the military life. Father was in the military, too, Korean War vet. I think it's just knowing that there's people that are willing to put their lives on the line for our freedom every single day, no matter where. It could be anywhere around the world, for us. And we sit here and we can go to bed at night knowing that we're safe
exactly.
because of those people.
And
That
they don't
means
know it.
everything to me. And they don't know who we are. And they choose. This is an all-volunteer service. It's an all-volunteer service. So they do it for us. It isn't, they're not being told to go in. They choose to go in for us. And to me, that means
Wonderful.
everything.
I'm just so grateful that the United States accepted me.
I know.
And to Kyle, he gave me the great honor of flying a flag for me in Kabul, Afghanistan, and I'm putting on my living trust that I want to be buried with my flag.
Oh,
I'm
God,
so,
that made me cry.
that's a big honor for me. So your husband, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's all.
Your turn.
My turn. The same thing. I want to thank the Colonel as Virginia, your grandson.
Yes, thank you to him.
Thank
He's
you.
a doll.
And he's my granddaughter's boyfriend.
I know, they're
Well,
darling. I follow them on
I
Facebook.
told
They're
you,
adorable.
it's
Jessica is
a
adorable.
family affair here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to thank my husband. He served.
Yeah, so did mine.
He was an Army Ranger. Your husband
Yes.
served.
You tell him thank you. Yeah.
My husband didn't, but my father did.
Your father.
My father-in-law was in Korea. My uncle was in Normandy. My first relative, American Revolution.
Wow.
So we've been fighting since 17-something.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was very impressed because when my grandparents came from Italy, they had 2 children already, and then they had 4 here. This is on my father's side. And they had 3 girls and 3 boys. And at one time, they had 2 daughters and 2 sons serving at the same time. 3 Navy, 1 Army. We'll never forgive her for that. But, but she was a MASH nurse. And all 4 of them served at one time, and it was really, and my grandparents barely spoke English at that time, but they knew how important it was. And that's, like I say, it's very, very important for us to remember. A lot of people don't understand the freedoms that we have today is because of our military. And so, Colonel, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
You betcha.
Sir.
We're going to take a very, very short break, and we're going to be back and wrap it up.
Just between us is spontaneous, intuitive, live.
Have you noticed? Oh, we're back. Sorry. I was going to say, but have you noticed how all of a sudden this resurgence has come where people are recognizing our military, and I think that's very, very important, especially a lot of the women who have served in our military. It's very nice to
I mean, nobody likes a war. Nobody
No.
likes a war, but it has to be done. So, sometimes people that talk bad about the the soldiers or something, it really aggravates me.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
But that was like
but
Vietnam
everybody has the
wars.
freedom to
Right.
speak and say.
I worked with a lot of Vietnam vets. They were coming back, and we were there for them, the USO. And the way people treated them.
It was ugly.
It was
Yeah.
very ugly.
Yeah, yes.
And I couldn't,
I remember.
it's not
I
their
was
fault.
here.
They don't ask to go to
They were
court.
told to go.
They were
told
told
in
that
those days.
that's
They
what you
did.
had.
They go to jail. It's
They
kind
had
of like
the
you didn't have a
draft,
choice.
and-
Yeah.
So we've evolved. We've come a long way, and I want to let everybody know if you want to reach us, we're at 223-4877, or you can fax us at 223-4866, or you can email us at bookme@tspntv.com. I want to thank Donna especially.
Oh, thank you. I had
And
such a blast.
it was
And
so
stuff.
much
I
fun.
miss all you guys.
Well, we miss you, but you're exactly where you need to be, because I know your passion is Washington, D.C.,
Right.
but you can always come home.
And
Yes.
hey, we have a place to crash. And
Yeah.
Oh, I invite all of you. I want you guys to come. I mean, seriously, you guys are, please.
We can have a girls' trip on
Fun.
the road.
Yeah, I'm
Between
serious.
us on
I'm
the road.
serious. You guys are great tours too. I'll get you in the White House, the Pentagon.
And Martha,
yes, let's do
happy
it.
birthday
Oh,
to you
thank
again,
you
my
very
dear.
much.
birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy
That's my
birthday.
You know how I
present.
feel.
Yes.
And
It's a
Virginia,
backward birthday.
Thank you.
Virginia,
It's
get
like
better.
I'm going back now.
Oh, I will.
No, it's just switch
will,
the
it
numbers
will.
around.
Oh, really?
Yes, I hope you feel better.
Oh, I will.
I want to take my
better.
grandkids besos.
No, it's fine.
Besitos to my
It's
grandkids.
attitude.
It is attitude.
Okay.
Yay!
I had to get in on
Hello.
was here today.
Thank you.
I'm going to talk into your mic.
Yes.
She likes that.
Yes.
They got the memo.
You two look like twins today.
I was walking from
yes.
Well, I can sit in between them because I'm kind of like the cream color in between them. So.
we're going to breakfast.
Oh,
Oh, we should. Yes.
Did you get the memo?
I want to thank all of
No.
you for watching the show today, and I want to again thank Donna for being here. And Kyle, if you're watching, my dear, I love you dearly. God bless you, and take care of this girl.
Yes. Oh, he is, I'm sure.
And then some.
You don't need to tell him. He's taking care of this girl. Just look at all this stuff.
That's for
He's
sure.
taking care of that girl. Let me
And
see.
Virginia.
Oh, my God.
my God.
I know. Look
I
at
need
that.
sunglasses to do the
Oh,
show.
wow.
Yeah,
That's
he did- he did
beautiful.
good.
From
He did
Charming
well.
Donna.
Yeah.
You believe in polygamy?
Everybody say goodbye.
Bye.
We'll see you next week. Make sure.
Oh, one more minute.
Excited to announce Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate.